Live from Studio 46, this is CBS 2 News.
All right, now to an amazing story from Long Island today. A baby boy born with only 4 fingers gets a thumb for the first time.
CBS 2's Dr. Max Gomez tells us about the surgery that gave baby Brandon full use of his hand. Dr. Max?
That's right, Christina. Maurice, Brandon Torres was born without a thumb on his right hand. May not sound like a huge deal, but a thumb is what allows us to grasp and manipulate everything from tools to bats to doorknobs. So how do you replace a thumb? Well, you make one from one of his other fingers. Brandon Torres is a cute, normal, and little fidgety 1-year-old. And if you didn't know better, you'd say his right hand also looks pretty normal, until you count his fingers. He was born without a thumb. They start counting fingers and toes, and they come to you and they say something's wrong.
It was a shock. I felt like at that moment I couldn't believe it, because I was like, is that even possible? Like, I know my sonograms all came out great.
After much consultation and agonizing, Mom and Dad decided to let Dr. Nicholas Bastidas do an extremely rare operation to give Brandon a new thumb.
We actually just moved his whole index finger, shortened it, and you did microsurgery to lengthen those nerves and then transferred the artery, veins, and nerves over into that new position.
You heard right. Dr. Bastidas created a thumb for Brandon out of his index finger. The 2.5-hour operation was just a month ago, right before Brandon's first birthday. And Mom told me his recovery has been remarkable.
He's already crawling on it, putting his hand down, and he has no pain. It's incredible how resilient these babies are.
Brandon still has a pin in his new thumb to let everything heal. Then he'll start occupational therapy to retrain his brain in how to use the finger in its new location.
His function will be only slightly impaired, probably about 30 to 50% impaired as far as strength, but ability to go ahead and do all these things and pick up objects should have a very functional and normal use of that thumb.
And by the time he's old enough to understand how unique he is, Brandon will be using his hand pretty much like his big brother.
I think it's incredible. It's definitely a miracle.
You know, now Brandon does have a left thumb, but that's also not quite normal. Dr. Bastidas says he'll have to operate on that one to move some tendons around to strengthen it and give it full function. But compared to giving Brandon a whole new thumb, well, that's a piece of cake. Christine, Maurice?
My goodness, Dr. Max, thank you. That's just beyond incredible. All right, well, medical